if you want to see for yourself why product teams at high-growth companies like Pinterest, Figma, and Qualtrics run on Coda, take advantage of this special limited-time offer just for startups. Head over to coda.io/Lenny to sign up and get $1,000 in credit. That's coda.io/Lenny to sign up and get $1,000 in credit. coda.io/Lenny. Okay, so one of your colleagues, current colleagues, not former colleagues, Gustav, was on the podcast previously. His episode is, I think, the 4th most popular episode of all time currently, so no pressure.
Cool. I can beat that. All right.
You can. So I asked him what is often the most common reason a startup fails. And his answer was, they don't talk to customers, they don't find product market fit, nothing else matters if they can't do that. And so his advice is, talk to customers more often. So 2 questions here. First of all, just, is there anything else you would add to why these startups fail? I know we talked about some of these already, but just what comes to mind there?
I completely agree with what Gustav said, but to look at this from a different frame, I think it's that the founders lose hope. And when you in your heart is like, yeah, we're failing, like once, I can see it when I'm meeting with a founder, when they resign themselves that they're failing. Versus when like, we got one more move in us, we got one more try, like you can see in their eyes when they feel like there's more ideas or some last ditch Hail Mary thing. It doesn't always work, but it's almost like you have to not accept that you're going to fail. And as long as you don't accept that that's going to happen, there's usually a lot more moves you can try to save the company. What, maybe it's to get profitable. Maybe it's to like do some other zany thing. Maybe it's, to launch a new product. And so it's pretty rare. I would argue that the cause of death is that they had lots of firepower and they were feeling really positive and they just ran out of money. That's actually like more rare than founders think. It's much more common when they still have some money left. I'm not saying a lot, but some money, and they're just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out of ideas. I don't want to do this anymore. And again, fair enough, But do you get what I'm saying? Like, I think founders are afraid that they're going to run out of money, and that's why they're going to shut down. And it's way more common that they their idea doesn't work, and they have a big fight with their co-founder, and then they can't agree on what to work on, and they just they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. That is the motive.
That was so interesting. And again, this comes back to your core advice. Don't die. Just don't die. We talked about this already of just sometimes it's actually okay to die. And I guess just to refresh that lesson is, if you're not having fun anymore, maybe.
Yep. Like if you know in your heart that you're done, you don't have to keep going through the motions. No one benefits.
And you've also seen enough cases now, you've shared a few of these where all hope was potentially lost, but they kept going, and then they turned into a huge success story. And I think most people don't see those examples. I guess, is there anything you can share, just like how often that happens, how often you see that turn around?
I would argue that if we define it as the company had a near-death experience where it was going poorly and the founders seriously wondered if it was all going to be over, 100% of the time people go through that. Where the founder's like, yeah, I guess we're done. Guess we should pack it in. And at least you feel that way at some point in your startup journey. Man, everyone goes through that. Then again, there's gradations. People that actually truly got down to very, very hard situations, it's still a high percentage, like maybe 50%. I mean, you can ask founders, there's a lot of founders that come this close to it all being over and through sheer will kind of just keep it going,
That is really empowering, I imagine, for many founders hearing this, of just knowing every single founder goes through, I think it's actually over.
Yep.
Following on this real quick, the advice that Gustav shared, which is about talking to customers, I'm just going to keep trying to pull wisdom out of your head. Do you have any advice for just how to effectively talk to customers? We're always hearing, talk to customers, build things they want. Easier said than done. You get a lot of asks. You get one customer asking for a lot of stuff. There's a big company, it's like, build this thing, we'll buy you, pay you $1 million. Just, do you have general guidance of just what to pay attention to and what to build versus avoid?
Yeah, I think when I talk to aspiring founders about this a lot, they're like, yeah, I talk to customers, we get it, cool. And they're like, cool, well, how many customers do you talk to? And they're like, well, and they get really quiet. And so I think this is one of those things like, hey, you should have a healthy diet and exercise every day or whatever, where people know it and that doesn't mean they do it. And so I think to start with, you have to get out in the world and talk to people in person. And you can't just hide behind your keyboard and call that talking to customers, right? And I think a lot of folks, their inclinations are to like, you know, build a landing page and buy some Instagram ads and try to get people to sign up for something. And again, maybe that's something, but I think a lot of the reason people do that is they're just